Hello everyone, welcome to our thought for the week. Now this week I'm somewhere a little bit different because I've come inside a church to record our collective worship film. And we're going to talk about another character from the Bible, and I wouldn't mind guessing that most of you won't have heard of this person, and nor will the grown-ups that you know. And it's a real shame. The person who I'm going to talk about today only appears a very tiny bit in the Bible, but he did something very important. He was a craftsman, and his name was Huram. Now Huram, and he's also sometimes in the Bible called Huram-Abi. Huram-Abi was really good at all sorts of crafts. He could make things out of gold and silver and other metals. He could make things out of cloth as well. And he could engrave, which is where you take metal or wood or stone or glass and you make a pattern in the metal or the wood or the stone. Now, Huram appears in the Bible because he had a really important job. The people of God wanted to build a great temple to God. God had never had a temple up until that point, and they wanted it to be the most beautiful building that had ever been built, because the God of all creation deserved something marvellous. It had to be full of the most wonderful decorations that had ever been made. And so they had to have the best craftsman in the world to come and do it. And that was Huram. Now Huram lived in a country called Lebanon. His mum was from Israel, his dad was from Lebanon, and he'd grown up in Lebanon learning how to do his crafts and his arts to the highest standard. And so the king of Lebanon sent him to help build the temple. And he sent lots of wonderful things for Huram to use to help make the temple too. Lots of marvellous wood, lots of wonderful fabrics and cloth, lots of gold and silver and precious stones. And Huram made a beautiful place for people to worship God. When something's really special to us, we want it to look lovely, don't we? And craftspeople help us to make things wonderful. People who are good at drawing and painting and sculpting, making things with their hands, help make our lives that bit more beautiful. In the church where I am today, I'm standing next to a font. A font is the special kind of bowl where you are baptised or christened. This one was made a very long time ago by the Normans. It's really, really old. And you can see here that someone has gone to a lot of trouble to engrave a beautiful design on it. Here and here and here, in fact, all the way around, there are lovely engravings. And on the top, someone who, like Huram, was really good at metalwork, has made a beautiful cover for it and has used metal in a really delicate way to make a pattern. And so instead of it being just a boring old bowl, it's a really special and beautiful container. The font was made a very long time ago, but even now people still like to make things to make places look beautiful. In the church, it's not so long ago that people made these lovely kneelers. And someone put many hours into stitching all the different stitches on this kneeler. We all like to make things look lovely, don't we? And some of us are really good at it, and some of us have our better skill sets somewhere else. The people in Israel had a lot of great skill sets. Perhaps some of them were really good at sport and competitions. Perhaps some of them were really good at being great soldiers. Some of them might have been brilliant builders, some of them fantastic fishermen or farmers. They needed Huram-Abi to come and help them build their temple because he was great with his hands, and he probably had a whole team of people working for him who were all good with their hands too. Very often when we tell stories about the Bible, we forget about the creative people that do things because we're telling the big stories about kings or soldiers, or sometimes we're talking about shepherds or fishermen. Maybe what you're really good at is keepy-uppies or rounders or throwing and catching, and that's really, really good. Huram-Abi perhaps has special appeal for those of you who are really good at arts. We can do creative things, even now. In the church that I've come to today, I've brought with me something I've made, and it's a cushion. I crocheted a cushion cover because my seat in the church is a little bit uncomfortable, and I wanted to bring a nice comfy cushion to help my back when I'm sitting here for a long time, and so I made this. I wonder if you make things. If you do, maybe the things you make someone proud and make something beautiful too. Maybe you've drawn a picture that has made someone's fridge door look amazing and made their kitchen a better place because of it. Not so long ago, a very lovely person drew me a picture called Canon Beverley Smiling in Church. And there was the church, and there was me, and there was the person who drew the picture, and it made me very, very happy to have that picture on my fridge. My fridge was a better and more beautiful place because of that picture. And the person that made that picture is in a reception class right now. So you don't have to be a grown-up like Huram-Abi to make beautiful things to make people happy. So if making things is something you enjoy, perhaps you might think about how you can use your gifts and skills at drawing or painting or cutting things out or sculpting or maybe doing crochet or sewing. The skills you've got, you can use to make somewhere even more beautiful and special. And that shows that you're using your gifts and skills for God. We don't all have to be great leaders or statesmen or politicians or soldiers. But if you're great at something else like sport too, work hard on that, because what Huram-Abi really shows us more than anything else is we need to be the best we can be, and we'll be appreciated for it and be able to be a part of those important days and important places. Now, as I'm standing here in this church, I can hear a bird singing away, and it's reminding me that the house of God was made as a house for praising God in, and that's where all the musicians came in. Is music your gift and skill? Are you great at singing or dancing? Now's your moment. Do you remember that song we've been learning? Now, in the church I've come to today, I have not brought my guitar with me. You're probably all very glad about that. So we're going to sing We're Marching in the Light of God without a guitar and do the actions. And if you're great at singing, sing out and lead your class as we do it. So we're going to march in the light of God, and we'll use this action for Siyahamba as well. We're going to move in the power of God and live in the love of God. Let's sing. Siyahamba kukanyene kwenkos, Siyahamba kukanyene kwenkos, Siyahamba kukanyene kwenkos, Siyahamba kukanyene kwenkos, Siyahamba, oh, Siyahamba kukanyene kwenkos, Siyahamba, oh, Siyahamba kukanyene kwenkos. We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching. Oh, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching. Oh, we are marching in the light of God. We are moving in the power 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 of God. We are moving. Oh, we are moving in the power of God. We are moving. Oh, we are moving in the power of God. We are living in the love 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 of God. We are living. Oh, we are living in the love of God. We are living. Oh, we are living in the love of God. And now, may the God of peace bless you. May he help you to use your gifts and skills, whatever they are, to make the world around you a more beautiful place. Amen. Bye-bye, and see you next week.